In the shadowed valleys where ancient winds whisper of forgotten secrets, the path of cultivation twists like a serpent through the heavens and earth. Warriors rise and fall, their fates bound by the relentless tides of power and vengeance. Renegade Immortal, Chapter 5 of 99, Chapter 600. The air thickens with tension as our steadfast immortal faces trials that may shatter even the strongest resolve. Darkness gathers, and the clash of ambition and destiny looms just beyond the horizon. Prepare to step once more into a realm where the impossible is tested, and only those who dare may glimpse the edge of immortality. In the shadowed depths of a secluded cave, the air shimmered with a silent, dangerous power. Imagine a fire that does not burn flesh, yet sears the soul itself. This is the crucible of ascension, a trial few dare to face and fewer survive. Tonight, a legend is about to be forged. Wang Lin sat cross-legged, motionless yet alive, with a trembling energy that made the stones beneath him hum. Around him, celestial jades glimmered faintly, their final remnants of spiritual energy being drawn into his body. As the last wisps of celestial essence evaporated from the jades, dust settled softly upon the ground, a quiet witness to the tempest within him. His pores drank deeply of this sacred energy, and it surged through his meridians like a storm confined to flesh and bone. Within his origin soul, a cocoon pulsed and writhed, alive with its own heartbeat. It was a womb of raw potential, the life and death domain at its core. Outside the cocoon, the celestial spiritual energy raged as a firestorm, an invisible blaze that could melt the essence of weaker cultivators in an instant. And yet, the stronger the fire, the more the cocoon's life force flourished, each pulse of energy fusing the domain ever closer to his origin soul. In this sacred dance, the soul and its domain sought unity, destined to become one indistinguishable entity, time-stretched and warped. The invisible flames inside Wang Lin's body burned brighter, fed by surging celestial energy, as though the heavens themselves poured their essence into him. The life and death cocoon shivered with each heartbeat, the scroll of destiny within it beginning to twist and melt, threatening to fuse entirely with the cocoon's core. This was the crucible every ascendant cultivator feared: fail, and the ethereal fire would turn tangible, devouring body and soul alike. And then it happened. The domain dissolved into a chaotic torrent of energy, origin energy, a substance ancient cultivators once called the foundation of life itself. In forgotten times, these energy refiners drew strength from it, shaping their bodies and spirits with its raw essence. Now it coursed through Wang Lin, nurtured by the cocoon, growing like a child within a womb, ready to replace all other forms of life energy, becoming the sliver of true vitality that could defy death itself. But transformation is never gentle. The origin energy, still liquid, trembled and refused to crystallize. Without crystallization, the ascendant crystal, the key to transcending mortality, would not form. Wang Lin's heart raced. Countless trials had failed before him, yet his spirit remained unbroken. He inhaled sharply, calling upon the final reserves of the celestial jades, releasing every drop of their energy through his being. The invisible flame surged, erupting from his body with a force that made the air itself quake. Sweat boiled upon his skin, yet before it fell, it rose in vapor, thickening above him like a cloud of divine smoke. The cocoon quivered. The origin energy, now being refined by this infernal yet invisible flame, began to crystallize. A silent tremor ran through the cocoon, threatening to shatter his progress. The celestial fire, now unstable, threatened to become reality and consume all. But fortune favored Wang Lin. Within his dantian lay the ascendant crystal gifted by Zhao Yi, previously devoured and now awakening. It merged with the chaotic flame, quelling its wildness, stabilizing the violent energies within him. The two crystals, one born of obsession, the other of life and death, whirled together, intertwining until Zhou Yi's gift collapsed entirely, its essence absorbed into Wang Lin's own ascendant crystal. The crystal swelled with visible speed, growing from the size of a fingernail to the length of his pinky, and the cocoon stilled. Time and effort, life and death, all converged in a single miraculous heartbeat. The origin soul cocoon now wrapped around the crystal, nurturing the formation of a new aura, a transformation that stretched on for what seemed an eternity. 10 years passed outside the cave in the mortal realm. Sky Demon City rose anew from the ashes, the Imperial Palace still reigning over the square where the giant demon drum beat silently. A young man gazed from a pavilion, a mischievous girl at his side. They spoke of Wang Lin as a distant legend, a cultivator vanished into the void of the demon spirit land. The east side of the city gleamed with a grand mansion, home to the Earth Vice Commander-in-Chief. Inside, generals stood at attention, awaiting a master who had been absent for a decade. And within the cave, Wang Lin remained still, yet the silent storm within his body had reached its climax. Cracks appeared on the cocoon, thin at first, then widening until it shattered entirely. Gray light spilled outward, revealing the newly born origin soul, solid and vibrant, the ascendant crystal turning slowly within. The cocoon dissolved, feeding its energy to the origin soul. Wang Lin's physical body trembled, and for the first time in 10 years, his eyes opened. "Ascendant," he whispered, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of struggle. Light blazed in his gaze, brighter than ever before, the culmination of 700 years of relentless cultivation. He had crossed the threshold, stepping into the stage of Ascendant, a pinnacle of power feared and revered across all cultivation realms. For 10 years, he had sat in Ascendant enlightenment, harvesting more than mere power. Understanding, mastery, and the immortal truth of the domain within, a new chapter in legend had begun, and the world itself seemed to pause, acknowledging the rise of Wang Lin. In the shadowed reaches of the ancient battleground, atop the fabled Black Tower, two eerie lights flickered within the helm of a colossal suit of armor. They danced like restless spirits, anticipating a moment that had been a decade in the making. "He has only just ascended to the ascendant stage," a voice murmured from within the spectral glow. "His origin energy has yet to fully meld with his mortal vessel. 49 days, just 49 days, and I shall have the chance I've waited 10 years to seize." Suddenly, the silence shattered. Thunderous roars tore across the ancient battleground, echoing through crumbling ruins. Above, the sky itself convulsed as a black vortex bloomed, vast and unyielding, spinning with a hunger that seemed capable of swallowing all beneath it. The heavens darkened, and even the countless lingering souls scattered across the battlefield quivered in fear. From the tower, the ghostly light flared with unrestrained force. A divine aura radiated outward, sweeping over the desolate lands. Cracks formed in the soil, and black bones erupted from the earth, spinning upward like fragments of the void. In midair, they converged, knitting together into a monstrous skeletal arm of night itself. The arm drifted toward the tower, halting beneath the ravenous vortex. "I cannot waste power recklessly," the armor's ethereal voice said, tinged with calculation. "And this place is one I would rather avoid." With that, a detached arm from the spectral armor ignited in demonic flame, hurtling toward the skeletal limb. Upon contact, the two fused, surging with raw, sinister energy. "Go! Bring back the origin energy!" The skeletal arm trembled and then vanished into the vortex, carrying with it the promise of untold power. "Only ascendant cultivators harbor origin energy," the spectral whisper continued, "and those who have fully integrated it are beyond my reach from here. Only the newly ascended remain within my grasp." And with that, the light in the tower dimmed, fading into the void. Far away, within the secluded celestial cave, Wang Lin sat cross-legged, the years etched into his form. After a decade of meditation, his body creaked and popped as he stretched, shaking off the stiffness of a long, solitary slumber. His eyes lifted toward the cavern ceiling, narrowing at a new disturbance. A black vortex, silent yet commanding, forming as though the heavens themselves had split. His cautious instincts surged. This was no ordinary anomaly. He had never seen such a vortex, and its appearance, timed with his first moments as an ascendant, set his heart racing. Without hesitation, he dashed for the cave's gate, bag of holding in hand, cave token ready, sealing hand signs forming to cloak his departure. Yet the vortex was swift. From its darkness, the skeletal arm reemerged, armored and malevolent, swiping with deadly precision. Wang Lin's form flickered as he phased into invisibility, narrowly avoiding the strike. The arm hesitated, then retreated as the vortex dissolved. He materialized above the endless plains of Fire Demon Country, the air heavy with desolation. The teleportation had been imperfect. The arm's interference left him in a land alien to his senses. His gaze rose, and the black dot in the sky grew, spinning into the colossal vortex once more, silent yet ominous, undetectable even to his divine sense. Wang Lin's expression hardened. This time he would not flee. He would gauge the strength of this spectral threat. The armored skeletal arm lunged without fanfare. No wind stirred, no spellcraft discernible. Its movement almost casual, yet imbued with a threat that whispered of annihilation. Wang Lin's hand rose, invoking for the first time his ascendant finger of death. Black energy roiled, vast and swirling, rings of power spiraling like coiling serpents. The strike slammed into the bone arm, meeting waves of demonic spiritual energy. The clash was instantaneous, titanic. The death energy of Wang Lin's finger of death absorbed the demonic energy, shredding it as if swallowing the essence of night itself. But even as he struck, an invisible force like a gentle wind assaulted him. His ascendant origin soul trembled, pulled toward oblivion. A cold fire ignited in Wang Lin's eyes. Even as his soul was ripped, his heart filled with the ruthless, unyielding slaughter of one who defies heaven. With a roar that shook the plains, his killing intent erupted, enveloping him in a monstrous aura. His origin soul recoiled, then returned, tethered once more to his body by sheer will. No matter who you are, you dare not challenge me. Wang Lin's voice cut through the silence, sharp as a sword. With a flurry of teleportations, he vanished, leaving only the memory of his wrath. The skeletal arm was formidable, yes, but it was the wrist guard that had drawn his attention, a silent sigil of greater threats yet unseen. He had just achieved ascendant status. Patience was a necessity. Back in the Black Tower, a soft exclamation rippled through the void. Ah, so he truly defies the heavens. He resisted my heavenly demon wind with mere resolve. How fascinating. Such heart, such origin energy, and you shall not escape me, ascendant cultivator. Wang Lin reappeared in a land of withered plains, barren of mountain or stream, but the distant signs of a grand design drew his sharp gaze. Restrictions etched into the earth marked a formidable defense. Over 1,000, intricately interlinked, a lattice of power meant to deter even the mightiest demon generals. With a glance, Wang Lin's divine sense pierced the array. These restrictions were trivial, illusions masking a treasure within. He entered the lattice with ease, bypassing traps that would have ensnared lesser minds. Beyond the deceptive boundaries, the plain unfolded differently, divided into neat plots, the air rich with a strange, potent fragrance. And at the center, a single object thrived, solitary and radiant. Celestial ascension fruit. Wang Lin whispered, awe mingling with curiosity. But before he could approach, the sky darkened anew. The black skeletal arm surged through the collapsing restrictions, relentless, reaching for the prize within. The hunt had not ended. The battle for ascendant origin energy, for untold power, had only just begun.